Hello there. Have you ever struggled when designing a Fursona? Well, I have, and I'm gonna show you what I've learned. Let's begin. First, grab a piece of paper and a pen and write your name in the middle of the page. Like that. Now write all the things that come to mind about yourself. It might look something like this, but I shortened it for simplicity. Now select the traits that you would like your Fursona to inherit from you. Feel free to add imaginary ones too. Here's the full list of mine. Don't forget to add some negative traits to balance out the positives. And there you go, you finished stage 1. Also, it's completely normal to adjust these down the line when you have a better idea of what you want. So let's move on to the next stage, finding visual reference. Head on to Pinterest or any other website where you can find a bunch of images, and let's begin our hunt. What we're looking for are images that represent the color palette of our character, the personality, something that represents their outfits and accessories, what kind of environment do they live in, and something to represent the mood that they're usually in. And it doesn't only have to be visual. For example, it was the music of Perturbator that inspired me to go for a cyberpunk theme in the first place. Now we've come to a point where a lot of people struggle, choosing a species. There's so many cool ones out there, but to narrow down the choice, let's clarify some physical aspects. Are they scaly or fluffy? Do they have digitigrade or plantigrade kind of legs? Do they have paws or hooves? Is their body mostly organic or robotic? If they have a tail, what kind of tail is it? Bushy or slender, short or long? Just write it all down, and then it's just a matter of finding a species that matches your description best. As a last resort, you can always take a spirit animal test. Those aren't very accurate and they do not include niche species, but it's better than nothing. As soon as you find a species that you feel a connection with, consider this step done. For me, the choice was obvious. A fluffy dragon. When you have a pretty good understanding about your character, I would recommend you to fill out this form. You don't have to fill every space, but the more defined it is, the better. You can find the link to this form in the description. But now, let's focus on naming your character. What kind of words come into mind when you think about the images that you found? You can think of a cool word and twist it into being the name. But if nothing comes to mind, you can use the Fursona name generator. It's a bit less personalized, but it can be a source of some pretty cool names. Also, a pretty nice tool for naming could be ChatGPT. You just feed it your rough Fursona description and it will spit out some generic furry names that you can iterate on. Now it's time to really dive deep into the lore and world building. If you want to, of course. It's completely optional. This is the culmination of all we've been doing so far. Here you can justify and explain why your Sona became the way it is, what drives them, what are their goals, desires and fears, and most importantly, why. Meet Venjiro Bladebane. He grew up in a rich, respected family. His dad, a legendary swordsman, loves the old samurai ways. Meanwhile, his mom is a top-notch engineer. Venjiro's dad taught him swordsmanship daily in their private dojo. His mom got him into advanced electronics. They sent him to a top-notch engineering school, but the tension between his parents grew stronger. Venjiro always hid in his room, playing guitar to escape their arguments. On his 20th birthday, he decided it was time to leave. With a bit of money and a relic sword from his dad, he set off to the city. It was a shock, totally different from his loving home. Struggling at first, he eventually joined a group of mercenaries. Jobs were hard to come by initially, but he soon found his footing. To excel, he had to invest in new gear and firearms. With these upgrades, he eventually became a top-tier mercenary. He took on high-stakes jobs, excelling in heists and hits. Even with his dangerous life, Venjiro still found solace in playing his guitar. Despite the risks, Venjiro thrives, using his wits and tech to carve out his place in this criminal underworld. He's shaping his own destiny. I hope you enjoyed my little lore presentation. Okay, so at this point you have all the building blocks for your character. It's time to put it all together in the form of a ref sheet. There's 3 ways you can go about doing it. Find a free-to-use or a paid base and color it. Commission a custom ref sheet, or make it yourself. But where can you find a free-to-use base? Awesome question, I was just about to talk about that, what a coincidence. Okay, so what you need to do is to go on DeviantArt and type the name of your species followed by F2U base, which stands for free-to-use base, by the way. Yeah. If your species is popular, then a lot of results should come up. Now choose the one you like and download the transparent PNG version of it. The links are usually in the description. Alright, now the fun part. Open the base in your drawing software of choice and color the character in. But which colors should you use? That's where our references come in. Import the color palette and reference it at all times. Just pick colors from it. I recommend using the 30-60-10 rule. Let me explain. For that, let's look at the color palette that I assembled. If I was going completely by this rule, it would probably look something like this. 60% of your character should be the dominant color. It's the primary hue that sets the overall tone and mood. In my case, there's actually two main colors. I added the white fur because I think it looks good. 30% is the secondary color. So finally, the 10% should be the accent color. You should use it to highlight the most important areas. And finally, some other little colors without which it would look kind of weird. I picked orange because it's obviously the best color, and then cyan because it's complementary to orange. You can tell a color is complementary by it being on the opposite side on the color wheel. But there is even more interesting color theory combinations. I recommend you check out the Adobe Color website to explore those. Keep in mind that some fur colors are more rare than others and might cost more if you are going to commission a fursuit. I recommend you look at the available colors on fursuitsupplies.com. If it sounds like too much effort for you, you can always commission an artist to do it for you. Just send them a text description of your character and the reference pictures you found. Include as many details as possible to get an accurate result. So that's it. Now it's your turn to create your dream Fursona. When I make a second video, it should pop up right here, so click it if it interests you. Bye!